Hello YouTube, so today what we're going to do is go over how I, Eli Rubin 123, record my drums, because I've been getting a lot of questions on it. So, ooh, it's sunny, look at that. The sun is blasting you away. As you can see, I have my overhead set up out here and up there. I don't normally do that. I was recording a track for a friend and needed a nice open kit sound. So I put one out front to pick up more of the room and put one way up top to pick up more of the room sound. Speaking of that, we can go right into it. So what I'm using for mics is the Shure PGD MK6 pack along with an SM57 on the snare, as you can see right there. Which means that I have a PG56 on the rack tom and a PG56 on my 14-inch floor tom. And now this is my bass drum mic, but it's on my 16-inch floor tom. You know why? Because it's really bad at picking up bass drum sounds. It doesn't pick up any high end, it's all low end, which I guess is okay, but then there's no attack. This is my PG56 in the bass drum, which I have outside of the bass drum to let the kick port kind of accentuate the lows, but it's pointed at the beater in there, if you can see, so that I still get the attack. Then, of course, SM57 on the snare. And I'll go into how I mic my drums real quick. Like I said, that's pointed at the beater for attack, but it's outside the drum to get some body, too. This SM57, I found best results if I mic it right over the rim of the snare and point it right at the center. Because then my rim shots are powerful, but it also has enough sound where I can ghost on the center of the snare. A ghost is a light hit, for those of you that don't know. I'm just saying. So when I ghost on the snare, it has enough sound to break through the noise gate on that without picking up the rest of the kit all the time. Then my 12-inch tom, as you can see, is mic'd pretty close. I can barely get a finger under there. That's because this tends to bleed in. This is a really loud ride cymbal. And then, of course, I have a projection crash right over it. So this is mic'd really low. And, of course, since this is a directional mic, it will only pick up stuff in the direction it is pointed. So hence the tom. This is mic'd a little bit further away, as you can see, 2 fingers. And then this one is also a little bit more than 2 fingers, actually, away. Just as the drums get bigger, they get louder, obviously. That's stupid. No, they don't. So yeah, so I run all of that, and then I have my overhead, which is usually right about here. I like to get it over the cymbals, because I like to have my drums. A lot of people say, Mike, your overhead's over the whole drum set, like right in the middle. I like to get my cymbals and my overheads and a little bit of the drums, but I like most of my drum sounds to come from these mics, because they sound like more natural, I guess. To me, not to everyone. Everyone has their own preferences. And my other one I like to put right here over the 18-inch crash and the hats. More over the hi-hats to get some definition from those. These really cut too, which is good. And then I run all of the mics via cables into my M-Audio Bass Track 8R. Ultra 8R, sorry. So that's 10 inputs. 10, wow, 8 inputs. Here, let's go around over here, and we will go see. So, one, as you can see, is left. There you go. One, as you can see, is left unplugged. There's nothing plugged into it. That's because I run the song from my computer or my iPod into one out front, which is there. I'm not sure if you can see because I'm reaching over. But yeah, so that's a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapter, and then I have a cable over here somewhere. Too many wires. That's so confusing. I have a cable that plugs that into my computer or my iPod. Then 2 is bass drum, 3 is snare, 4 is rack tom, 5 is floor tom 14, 6 is floor tom 16, 7 is left overhead, and 8 is right overhead. You'll notice the 8 cable is different. That's because it's the cable that came with the SM57. This is 20 feet, the rest are 15 feet. I wish they had sent me like 25 feet, because I'm always wishing for more cable. Once it's run into the interface, the only thing I do through there is set the levels, as you can see right here. There's nothing else that I can do on here besides set the levels. No EQ, nothing. Look, my computer's broken. I fixed it. Yeah, my computer's dying. Oh, hi. Ah, you're fixed. Okay. So then I run that via USB, which actually is quick enough, contrary to popular belief, to record 8 tracks at once. And I run that into my computer. As you can see, 8 tracks. Yeah, that's on GarageBand, by the way. You can record in multiple tracks on GarageBand. If anyone needs to know how, I can make a tutorial on that as well. Just leave a comment below. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You've watched 5 minutes of me being boring. Now to the good stuff. When I'm in GarageBand, I have a different track for each drum, obviously. So I've labeled that bass drum. You can't read this, but 14x6 snare, 12-inch tom, floor tom, overhead, overhead. And basically what I've done is I've EQ'd each one and then saved it, so that's the sound that I like. I will vary the sound cover to cover, but it's relatively the same. So if we go to bass drum, say, we go to edit, this is my graphic EQ. I don't really have much done there, actually. A little bit of boost in the low end, and then just some high end for attack. And it sounds really good. Then we go to parametric EQ, and I've just boosted up in the high end again, which gives it more attack, which is what I was looking for. It sounds really good just as is. This is a great bass drum. 18x22, kick port, fat. The snare has more done to it. So like that. These are usually lower, but I wanted some ring for this track that I did. Someone just texted me. And the toms are pretty simple. The only thing that's different with the toms is I have the noise gate. I have that on the snare too, not so much on the bass drum because it doesn't pick up as much. But what a noise gate is basically it won't record a sound until it gets past a certain noise level. So if I just touch the snare drum like this, it wouldn't record it. But if I give it a big whack with the stick, then it tells the mic, oh hey, you should probably record this. And the mic records that, and just that simple. And once it gets back below that level of sound, boom, no more. You want to be careful gating your toms though, because you don't want it just to be like, doo, doo. Hey, my snares go when I do that. Doo. You don't want it just to be a really quick tom sound. You want it to be a nice full tom sound. So make sure not to gate your toms too much. That's a mistake I made when I first started. And then the only thing I have on the overheads is I've taken a little bit of high end and added it back just so that you get some nice crispness from the cymbals and the ride. And then it gives the crashes a little bit more bite. And compress them a tiny bit just to make the sound more even. Compressor, if the sound goes like this and spikes here, what a compressor does is it rounds that sound off so it's not as sharp to the ear. And that is pretty much how I record my drums. If you made it this far in the tutorial, leave a comment that says purple bananas, and if someone's left the comment before you, make sure to click thumbs up on their comment, okay? Any questions, obviously leave a comment. I'm more than willing to answer. I check my email twice a day. You can send me an inbox message. You can just leave a comment here and I'll respond to it. Anything you need to know, if you want me to make another video, whatever, make sure to click like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.